Hey, this is Skullgirdle and welcome to Dark and Lazy, the Cemetery Confessions fundraiser t-shirt. They sold about 70 of these babies in order to pay for equipment, I think a hard drive or some kind of failed part in their computer. Whatever. I don't care because I got lucky enough to get one. So I'm gonna chop it up. If you don't know what Cemetery Confessions is a podcast with Gothic subculture topics. There are different guests every month. I think they come out once a month, and they spend a couple of hours talking about whatever subject they've decided on for that month. And within the podcast, they'll also have usually a movie review and an album review. And different people do the movie reviews and album reviews, and they just have people from all over the world come and talk on their show about their opinions, experiences, etc., all things goth subculture. You know, I was trying to think of what I could do with this shirt, but I just decided to put a bunch of crap together on the table and see what happens and just do shit. You know, the usual. All right, I got my shirt just kind of sitting here like a big fat mess. Now I am gonna just cut this fucking collar off because it is the first thing I do with every t-shirt I cut up, because this is the thing that I really hate the way t-shirts look on me. Well, sleeves too, but you know, I've got these, so I wear sleeves. But let's pretend that I were going to cut this evenly, because I don't want mine even. I want mine a little bit ragged. And you have these two little seams. Hopefully you can see those. So go by these guys. Go by your seam here and here, and then you would be able to fold it like this and then cut that off. And then you can see you can just cut the back off and you can get pretty even. You'll usually have to trim this up, but I am just gonna go anarchy on this shirt. This collar's got to go. This collar is an asshole and I hate it. So I'm just gonna chop it off, and you can see that I'm not trying to be even. I'm letting it get screwed up. And what should happen is when you put it through the washer, it'll roll up. Okay, so you can see I've got a little bit chopped up. What you can't quite see is how uneven this shit is right there. But that's okay, that's okay. So one thing I wanna do is fix these sleeves, because I also hate t-shirt sleeves. Okay, so this is how you do it if you are wanting it to look, you know, kind of orderly. And here's the seams here, and here's the seams right there. So first order of business is this thing has to go. This can actually, I had a friend in college who used to wear these as headbands. And again, I'm chopping this up. I don't care that it's even. I just care that all this shit is off of there. So we're gonna go super duper easy on this one. And we're gonna go snippety, 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 and snippety, snippety, snippety. All right, so what's gonna happen is when this gets washed, it's gonna roll. You could even fringe this if you wanted to. I hate that shit, so I'm not doing it. Guess what kind of glue I'm gonna use? The reason I'm doing this is because I did a shirt with a bunch of, this fucking glue ball, man. I did a shirt with these guys on it, and it was a nightmare because all the stuff kept coming off of it because these little prongs are short. I'm just sticking these in there. I'm not even trying to do a good job, because I want this shirt to look a little bit like chaos. And when you're doing chaos, you don't add perfection into it because it's chaos. Where did I get these little guys? These may have been on Etsy. I don't know if they were Etsy or, I just glued myself. These are willy-nilly. If I was trying to do this and look nice, I would spend a lot of time. And you see my fingernail's already breaking. That's okay, that's what they do. Can you even see what I'm doing? I keep getting this closer and closer to me so I can see, but really I'm just, you know, taking a risk of jabbing this underneath my fingernail, which really does hurt. And I'm sure those of you who have that visceral feeling when someone hurts themselves are now upset. I'm a really big fan of supporting people in the Gothic subculture who are furthering the study of the Gothic subculture, artists in this Gothic subculture, musicians, you know, us, ourselves. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the Gothic subculture is dying. And I don't personally believe that. I think it's going back underground. And I think that right now we are in a process of discussion. I think it's going to be in the long run helpful for us to kind of, I know people are like, oh, you're trying to define goth. Well, people have been trying to define goth for 40 fucking years and we haven't figured it out yet. So we need to figure out a way to kind of get along, which we can. It's not that hard. Doesn't cost you a penny to be polite. If you're broke as fuck and you're like, fuck your Patreon, go watch the videos. You know, click an ad. That will help fund all the time and effort it takes to bring those productions to you, because that shit takes time. And I know that because I have a YouTube channel, and while it looks like people on YouTube just sit down and go, what did I do today? Okay, I'll make this video. No, that's not how it happens. There's a lot of planning, there's a lot of thinking. Sometimes even if it looks fucking vacuous, there is some serious thought behind it. So Cemetery Confessions asked people to actually post what they did to the shirts. And I was like, shit, a little pressure. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And I was like, well, you got a big fat box of crap to put on stuff. All right, so this right here is, it's not supposed to be even. You can make yours even. I might have accidentally made them even. Teeny. You can do whatever you want. It's your shirt. I mean, it's your creativity to do whatever you want. I'm just sorry that you won't have a Cemetery Confessions shirt, because I love this shirt. With just this stuff done to the sleeves and the collar cut off, that's actually enough decoration. It's already made it different. It already doesn't look like your standard t-shirt, so you could be done. I'm gonna keep doing shit. Do I know what I'm gonna do? No. Excuse me while I look at this thing for a sec. All right, so we're just gonna do some random little cuts. And when you cut, you don't want to jab your scissors in there and just start cutting like that. Usually just take a fold. So I'm just going to take some random folds. And I'm probably going to regret some of the things I'm about to do. So yeah, let's go crazy. Seriously, random fucking cuts. Not that you can see it, but I've made Swiss cheese of this poor defenseless shirt. Look at that, it's got just random cuts. And you're like, what the fuck? Those cuts don't even make any sense. They will. I promise you, they will. By the time you see the finished product, this shit will all make some sort of sense. And yeah, if you are a person who wears bras, I would suggest if you're gonna do shit like this, that you wear a fucking black bra or whatever color your t-shirt is. And one of the things I've always admired about the punks and a lot of early goths, especially patch jackets, is that it always appears to be random. All right, we just need space for 3 of these things, but I am too busy making a mess of everything on the table right now. Okay, there's 1. So we're gonna go with 5, because my superstitious nature says you gotta have odd. Do I want that here? No, I think I want it up here. In fact, let's, you know, not to be planning ahead or anything, let's just cut it some more. You know what? Let's cut it more than that. Who cares? I'll have something on underneath it anyway. And who cares if I didn't? There, see? And now I put that thing way off. See, I gotta fix it because OCD. Now we've got these pins. So we've got some spikes. We've got these pins. We are not going to put pins over on this side. Y'all, I still have some mints. Yum! Okay, so let's do a couple things to the back. Nothing big, you know, just a cut here or there. Oops. I just want to cut the back though. And you can see I'm all like, you gotta fold it, but I'm just kind of cutting on things that are already folding. And let's see. Let's do a big one right there. Because if you cut it while it's not folded, you might have cuts that make V's, and that shit gets fucked up, and you won't be able to control your pattern at all. Okay, so we still have this beautiful field of shit that's not fucked up. And I'll be honest, I'm not gonna fuck up the design because I really, really love this design. I love and adore this font. I love the sketchy quality of the bats, how they almost disappear, how you've got these bold lines in the coffin, and then your line quality here kind of disappears, and it's got really the way the candles are done to be more thick, and how this has what looks like old filigree, and the way they've used the negative space to actually help define the design is just beautiful to me, and I don't really want to fuck with it with cuts. I didn't say I wasn't going to fuck with it. I'm not going to fuck with it that much. So I've got this dog collar, which I have worn as a bracelet, but it just fucking pissed me off last week, and I was like, that's it, you're going on something. So we're going to put it right, I think we're going to go right here. And you're like, how are you going to put that on there? Well, I'm going to use these giant fat pins. And first we're going to pull all of them out and stab ourselves with it. Holy mackerel, we could have died. I could have died! And you want to pin towards the top of the circle so it hangs the way you want. Okay, so you can see that I have already gone off the hook. I put it on there nice and even before. Well, guess what? It's not going to be even. So I think we'll be okay. I don't think anyone's going to cry except me when I stab myself really hard with this stupid pin. I think it'll hang just fine when it's on my chest. But what I was trying to decide is if I want to do 3 pins, which I think I do. And now that this is placed, I can just put those in there, and then it'll have just kind of this almost like a marquee type look. Let's just close those and get those out of the way before I can cause complete chaos. I've got one little detail I want to add. I got this in the DIY or die, and I was like, well, I've already got an Ankh necklace, and I don't actually wear gold color anything, but I dearly love Ankhs, and I don't do crosses, so I'm going to cover up this cross. And you're like, but you said you were leaving the design. Well, I said I wasn't cutting it up. We're going to see if this little pin, can you even see that? We're going to see if this small pin will work. I don't know if it will. It might. It might. That looks pretty good. I like it. Let's get to the bottom. If you want it to look good, you can match the seams and make sure that you're perfect there. And you could even come back and make sure you're absolutely perfect here. And you'd have a relatively easy cut. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm going with, let's see what happens. I'm just going to cut it. I don't give a shit if it's even. In fact, I kind of want it to not be even. So let's see how jagged this looks. And I guess that's okay. We'll do it on this side. I want it a little bit. So we've got that, which is too much of a right angle. And we don't want those kind of little cuts because those catch. They actually catch and stuff. These little pokies catch and stuff. Oh my God, that's gonna look like nipple rings. Oh my God, that's awesome. So yeah, it's gonna do stuff. And later on, it's possible I will put charms on this, but right now it just kind of looks like just a shirt with some stuff done. And it's not a lot of stuff. It's not. Because this is dark and lazy, not dark and complicated. So we're gonna let the washer do the work. Hopefully this shit stays on it. All right, are you ready? Hopefully, I think it looks pretty good. It came out pretty good, and the chain did the exact effect I wanted. So there's the front. Here's the back. You can see I've got some big fatty holes up there. This is just after the first washing. I don't know if you can see this, but I filled this in with a black Sharpie. Cause you know you can do that 50 fucking times. First of all, you should never put something with wet glue in the washer. So I had to redo half of those. Not all, they lasted better than I thought. So you can see right there. I don't know if you can see. I think the back, it's got some good gaps back there. It's kind of messed up. This is after one washing. You can see that this one didn't curl up. It'll curl up a lot more. You could cut them any way you want to if you want. Oh my God, what just happened? Oh, it's stuck. Okay, so you see how that's all curled up? These will curl up more when you wash it. The thing that I'm happiest about with this shirt, honestly, is that it's gonna irritate the shit out of some people because I've got, you know, the nipple ring there and I'm off on the side there so they don't match. Oh, that makes people nuts. Oh, it'll be so much fun. So Cemetery Confessions. Backing up, here it is. I added, after I showed you guys, I added these pins and a little bit here because it just, I don't know, it looked unbalanced. I mean, it is unbalanced, you know, and then I got this crap down here. I just wanted a lot going on, and so I made a lot going on. So that is the Cemetery Confessions shirt a la Dark and Lazy. So hey, thanks for watching. Until next time.